UFC fighter Nick Diaz got caught with marijuana in his system not one time, not twice, but 3 times. Now, of course, there are penalties for that, even though marijuana is certainly not a performance-enhancing drug. Now, his penalty, if you ask me, is ridiculous. UFC fighter Nick Diaz had his punishment for a 3rd positive marijuana test reduced to an 18-month suspension and $100,000 fine after reaching a settlement with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now, marijuana for medicinal use is not illegal in Nevada. I just want to put that out there, get it out of the way. However, the key word in that graphic was reduced, right? So how bad was it before? Diaz was initially handed a 5-year suspension and $165,000 fine in September. Now, the Nevada State Athletics Commission's Pat Lundvall even considered banning him for life, reportedly because she simply felt disrespected by the fighter.
Okay, that's it right there. I knew there was something up with this story. And so I'm like, wait a minute, man. I know people are against marijuana, but this is mental. And yeah, you're against all drugs. Yes, he did it 3 times. I'm like, there's something else to this story. Then I get to the part of the story where she feels disrespected. I'm like, that's it. She hates the guy.
Yeah.
That's why, like, she did the considered life ban. Like, I got power over you. In this case, I get to decide whether you get to do, your profession or you don't get to do it. 5 years. Then she takes a lot of heat because everybody's like, you're crazy. That's way too long. Still, $100,000 fine for smoking marijuana, let alone 18 months where he can't work at his profession. It's beyond crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Look, at some point, and everybody at this point knows it, even the people who are opposed to marijuana know that the handwriting's on the wall, that marijuana one day will be seen just like alcohol, okay? And so we'll look back and go, you guys did what to people smoking marijuana? You put them in jail? Are you crazy? And now you're going to do this to this guy. Let's go. End this stupid war on drugs.
So here's another little twist to the story, okay? Apparently, the organization had passed regulations for positive marijuana tests about 4 months before he tested positive for the 3rd time. And their rule was that there should be a 3-year suspension for a 3rd positive marijuana offense, okay? But they didn't give him the 3 years. They decided, nah, we're going to give him 5 years. That was the initial one. 5 years. That's crazy. And I think Nick Diaz makes a great point. Look, I don't know much about the UFC. I know there are allegations of steroid use. But he says, I've never done steroids, and a bunch of people in the UFC are doing steroids, and they're not getting punished for it whatsoever. Why is it that a performance-enhancing drug is taken much more lightly, I guess, compared to marijuana use? Marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug. I know some people think they smoke it and it makes them more energetic. I believe them, right? But for the vast majority of people, it's not something that's going to make you energetic. It stays in your system for a ridiculously long period of time, which frustrates me. I wish it was out of your system within 24 hours. But you're not high when you're fighting, usually, right? So
and if you are, I can't imagine that it's anything but a disadvantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, some people lose their train of thought. Like, wait, what hold was I going to put on him? Wait, am I supposed to tap out? I think my leg's getting broken. So, no. You got to reinstate him. I don't know if they're going to do it. I like his strong words, though. Let me give you his direct quote. I never did steroids in my life. That's another thing I'll tell you right now. I know all the fighters, and they're all on steroids. All you motherfuckers are on steroids. Which ironically sounds like a little bit like roid rage.
He's on steroids.
Okay, but I don't know what he's doing there. Look, he's on steroids. You got rules against that. Go ahead and enforce that. That makes sense. But in terms of marijuana, let him go! Let him go!